because the Cavern's got loads of like bands and that on, hasn't it?
And it's a 35 plus sausage fest.
What? What does that mean?
Come on, Caitlyn, say.
Hello and welcome back to the Red Shutter Club. I'm here with the lovely as ever Caitlyn Eve.
Hi.
So, Caitlyn, you are definitely a prominent figure here in the music scene. Can you tell us how long you've been doing music, both professionally and just like in general?
So I've probably been singing since I was like 6 or 7, and then started singing lessons when I was younger, about 13, and then I went to college and uni. So I went to LMA for 5 years, and then I've been gigging, doing my cover stuff for about 2 years now, and I've been writing my own songs since I was about 14, 15.
14, 15, really?
Mm.
Well, that's lovely. And I didn't know that you had gone to LMA.
Yeah.
And what does that stand for again?
Liverpool Music Academy.
Is it not?
I think so. I only went there for 5 years, but yeah.
I barely even know my own name right now, so like I'm not gonna remember that. But no, that is lovely. So gigging and doing cover stuff, what has that experience been like for you?
A few knobs in the audience. No, it's been good. It's a good way to earn money. It's not what I want to be doing like, career-wise. Like I want to be getting my own songs out there, but it's good money.
It's a way to pay the bills.
Yeah.
What was it that Ellie said in her interview? It was, you can't turn down the cover stuff because the cover stuff is how you pay for your own stuff.
Yeah, it's true. It is.
Yeah. So your own stuff, where would you say that your like, what would you say that your style of music is?
Maybe like, I'd say a mix in between indie, folk and rock, I would say. Probably.
I'd agree with that. Yeah.
Why is that what you thought too?
Yeah. Well, I honestly, I barely even know. People always ask me what type of music I know and or music I play, and I'm like, beats me.
Yeah, I'm the same, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, with the cover stuff, like I'm getting money off that, and then I've been paying for the band rehearsal room, which is like 40-50 quid a weekend.
Oh damn.
So add that up, it's like what, 200 a month. So it's like, do you know what I mean? So
this is why artists are always starving.
Pain.
One thing that we're really looking into with these interviews is just the business side of music, specifically like building brand image. Is there anything you can tell us about the brand image that you've created, whether it's been on purpose or not, like that sort of stuff?
Well, I think I've actually sort of like with my socials, I've sort of made myself look like a cover artist, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So the one thing about my band, what I wanted to do, I didn't know whether to make it my name or a band. Because like a year ago, we had this thing in uni where we had to sort of get a brand done, do you know what I mean? And like sort of put your page and like make a music page and have a colour theme scheme, all that type of stuff. And I sort of done it all and it was all like pink, and then like months later I was like delete. It's like no tar. So yeah, I feel like that was one of the things. So like I've sort of didn't know whether to make my own stuff. So say when I release things and like when I do get my band going, whether to make it sort of put a band name on it or whether to use my name, just because I feel like I'm sort of known as a cover artist and that's like not what I want to be, if that makes sense.
Well, that's a very interesting point, because that is something that I've heard from a lot of people in Liverpool about like not liking doing cover gigs or not wanting people at cover gigs because they don't want to be known as a cover artist. With a lot of them, what they were doing is just not accepting cover gigs.
Yeah.
But that's a very interesting way to look at it with branding, of just like the band is the original material and I do the covers.
This is also a thing though, because I did think about that. What if I just like put my name to a side and then sort of, because I only put like the name Caitlyn Eve as like a couple, like last year when I started sort of like putting more of my own stuff out. But yeah, so I've made like loads of people, like loads of contacts from my cover gigs, like because I do like parties, weddings, whatever.
Yeah.
I have made like loads of contacts who I know would like sort of support me if like I did like sort of not blow up but like put my own stuff out there or put my own gigs on and things, there's loads of people that would like have me back and come, and that's from the cover gigs, if that makes sense. So if I was to make a band page and put a band name on it and it was all my stuff, I feel like, well, I haven't got that following them. Do you get what I mean?
Well, no, yeah.
Sorry. Can I say something? Yeah. I think that actually gives you a bit more of a connection though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because like you've got loads of people who already know you from the cover, and now you go, right, I've got a band, and then you get more people onto it.
But that's what I mean. I have got a band anyway, but I'm sort of using my name. But then it's the amount of people that think about it, like Scouse Prince, for example, or like people that just don't really care about music.
You know what you mean?
Yeah, and they're just like, they wouldn't listen to a band, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So that's what I just like. I'm still sort of debating it now. What I'm sort of doing. So maybe it's just going to be Caitlyn Eve and band and the band.
Well, that's like, what is it? Tabby Gervais and the Halftimers?
Oh, yeah.
You could do something like that.
Yeah, good, yeah. Suppose.
Shout out to Tabby. We'll get you on one of these days. But no, that's a very interesting idea. That's actually, something that comes up when we're talking about this sort of stuff is how in music sometimes this stuff happens accidentally, like brand imaging and stuff. Like Ellie Burke was just like, oh, I let my personality shine through, and then that's my brand, and it's just like this sweet, wholesome musician, because that's who she is. But I know with my accounts, I've done exactly what you're doing accidentally, because I post covers and stuff on my channel, or my Instagrams and stuff, and then I have a separate page, and everything else is under like the band name.
Yeah.
That's really weird. Yeah. But I like that I can now justify it with Caitlyn's logic. So
no, it's silly. Still like a thing in me head where I'm just like, what should I do with this? Because I just, as I say, I've got like that following with my name, but then like, are they really going to be asked if I go off and like say, oh, I'm in this band now, this is my band name? Do you get what I mean? I mean, this has literally been like what's been slowing me down, because I'm just a bit like, I don't know what to do with that. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, because you definitely don't want to lose that following.
Yeah.
So it almost might have to be like a Caitlyn Eve and or like, what does Ian say? Ian Prowse of Amsterdam and Pele.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, you'd have to be really good at blending the marketing. Like I know for this show, doing everything with collaborative posts and stuff and sharing about it, it's gained like a little bit of a following.
Yeah,
it's been up for a week. So, for a week, it's not bad, but we'll see over time how well it works. Now, you do fairly well with the social stuff. You've got quite a few followers. You're putting out content all the time. Do you have like a social media strategy?
No, not really. I've just always had like sort of the same page, so that's just built up over years. I actually haven't got anything like, just when I'm not doing it on, I put a little cover up. For me, cover gigs, people just like message me out the blue, or like it's word of mouth type of thing. For the original stuff, I'm just still sort of trying to work on it. Yeah. But I'm recording soon and getting stuff out there, so that's cool.
Well, how did you get to that place? What do you attribute people just reaching out and saying, hey, do you want to do a cover gig for us?
I'd done one gig, so I had a guitarist at the time. I'd done one gig in Murphy's Bar, so it's next to 10th Street Social, it's like on the Dock Road, and we literally done it for cheap, basically. But like, it was my first gig, and I was just like, can't wait for this. And I just split up with my fella at the time, so I was just like putting all my beans into this gig, singing my heart out. And then since then, I just like put like a few videos up on my Instagram or my Facebook or whatever, and then it just sort of went from there. And now like that is literally my job. Like,
that's really crazy.
Yeah, it is. Like, obviously it didn't just one gig and then I had 1,000, but like it went from one, like I think it was not 2 summers ago, so it went from like one gig to like a month later where I had like 6 gigs a weekend.
Wow.
And it's weird.
That's really quite crazy. Now, what do you attribute that to, like your network? Do you attribute that to like maybe your act being a bit different? Like, where do you, because I feel like that's quite a rare thing.
I don't know what it was, to be honest. I'm quite a social person too, so I'm just like,
fair.
Yeah, but
the Riz. It was the Riz.
I don't know where it sort of came from. It just sort of happened, and I was like, oh, I'm making money. And I worked in Wilco's in town, just like only done like 10-15 hours a week. I ended up leaving because I was like, well, I'm making more money in a gig, I'm making more money in whatever, like 45 minutes than I'm making here, so it's just pointless. So I left there, and then I went downhill because I had nothing to do. And then because I suppose I'm the type of person who needs to do stuff constantly, if that makes sense. So just like 4 or 5 gigs a weekend, that's only what it's about, like 9 hours, 10 hours time for the whole. Do you get what I mean? So it was just like,
I completely get it. I felt like I wasn't a functional member of society until I had this project to work on that requires like hours of editing, because I'm like, all right, I need to get my shit together. I have things to do. If I don't have a full schedule, I don't function.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. I remember you saying it. Yeah, like
we bonded over this at Ditto.
Yeah,
when we first
met. We did. Yeah.
So actually, that is where we met. We met at an open mic in the Baltic. So where do you think like open mics kind of lie in this area?
I sort of went because I sort of wanted to get my name out there a bit more, as I didn't really know. I know there's loads of people in Liverpool, like in the music scene, but I don't know, I just wanted to get out there, and I wanted to get more confident like performing, because I never used to play guitar myself. I used to just always have someone with me. And then I just thought, like, I feel like I could only do what I wanted to do, if that makes sense. Like, someone plays on, I'd be like, oh, in my head, that's wrong, or no, do you know what I mean? So I just had to, like, take it into me, think, just like, you're gonna have to do it do you know what I mean? You're gonna have to do it if you want to do it, because I was just getting pissed off at everyone. So, yeah, and then it was the first one that I went. I remember going to the Cavern a few times and being like, oh, because the Cavern's got loads of, like, bands and that on, hasn't it?
And it's a 35 plus sausage fest.
What? What does that mean?
It's all men above the age of 35.
I've never noticed. I've never noticed. No, I know there's like older people in there, but
older people above 35.
Older people, yeah.
Have you not noticed how male dominated it is?
I don't really. I was gonna say, don't really pay attention. I don't mean that in like the way that I'm not watching them, but like, yeah, I don't know.
No, I feel you.
Yeah.
To be fair, I didn't notice until I was... Actually, no, I think maybe the only reason that I noticed is because I went for ages before I ever played. And I was just like...
Why didn't you play? Why did you go and then not play?
Oh, okay. So I went to the Cavern for like probably 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
Before I ever played.
Why?
And it's because through all of COVID, I didn't pick up a guitar. So I was so out of practice.
Yeah.
Plus, I had written like maybe 3 half songs, which I personally thought were shit. To be fair, I think everything that I do is shit. So. Dramatic pause.
I just like, don't know what to say to that. I was trying to think of the right word.
I don't know, go, oh, no, you're not.
No, you're not.
Oh, you're beautiful, you're amazing, darling. Don't put yourself down like that.
Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Mom. Ellie Spencer, professional soccer mom. She goes, what can I say? But yeah, no, I was intimidated.
That's what I mean. Like, you go in, don't you, before you'd ever get up and open mic, and it's because like I can perform in front of anyone. Like it wouldn't bother me. Like I've just got that confidence anyway. I'm just a confident person, which I'm not really asked. But when you go into a room full of like musicians, you're just like, oh, what are these gonna think of me? And that's another thing what we were saying before. But I'm not normally bothered about things like that. Mine's more guitar playing than me singing. It like it's just because I'm not like singing's my first instrument, so it doesn't really like come over me as if it's a bum note singing, like it's just like do you know what I mean? It's nothing really happens. Whereas like guitar, I'm like
no, I feel you.
Yeah.
Especially, I think what we were saying about the sausage fest is when you walk into somewhere and it's like it feels like the world's just waiting for you to be a woman who shits on guitar.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
It is.
And it's like when you accidentally deliver that, which, you know, we're all bound to be shit at some point. It's like, fuck, I've fulfilled it. The stereotype.
Yeah. That's what it is. It really is. Because there are those moments where you go and it's like an all-female band will go up and it's just like really tame and not quite right. And everyone's just kind of like,
I don't really look around me. I just sit there. Like, I don't know. I just don't pay attention to. Maybe I'm just in my own bubble. I just don't really pay attention to that.
You're in your own little world.
Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know.
Fair circle. She's in the fair circle.
What does this mean? What is all this?
To be honest, I don't know. She's an actress. We don't listen to them.
My favourite open mic's probably the Jack.
The Jack is a good one. Why? What makes the Jack your favorite, do you think?
I don't know. Maybe just because I like the Jack. Maybe that might be one of the reasons. Like,
fair enough.
the favourite time of my life was like first year uni, and I was in that Jacaranda every single night. So maybe.
Yes, girl.
Yes,
fucking
girl.
party time.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is about it. I just think, and Ali's boss too.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's why. I don't know.
Well, fair enough. I have a theory with open mics. I'm
Oh.
sure I've shared this with you because it's like my annoying tidbit that I share with anyone who will listen. I have a theory that an open mic is going to be shit socially, like social interaction wise, if there's enough seating.
Oh, so like people can't stand up. Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Because then you're not really
Yeah.
talking, are you, or anything.
And the Jack, there's usually enough seating,
Yeah.
but they have those massive booths. And
Yeah.
you almost never have a group of people big enough to fill them, so you're forced to sit with other
Yeah.
people. Plus, you get people up, like, it's not as collaborative as Ditto, but there are people who
I was
go
just
up
about to
and
say that because you
collaborate.
said you loved it. So, well, you didn't say you love it, but like, because everyone just gets on in there, don't they? I remember the first time I went there though, and I just sat upstairs like with my mates, and I was just like,
Yeah. Because that's nice if you're there with
yeah.
mates, but
And then I texted you one time. I was like, "Are you gonna go there? Because I'm gonna go on my own, just turn up on my own." And that's like what gets you talking to people, really, isn't it? When you just turn up on your own.
yeah,
Mm.
definitely. Or you're there with someone who's really social.
Mm.
I mean, the best friends that I've made have been through going to open mics
Yeah.
by myself. But you mentioned that you hated the brand image that you built when you were in
Yeah.
college, university, whatever the fuck it is. Why?
So, this is going to be an insult because I actually paid someone to make it for me, so that's a bit rude,
Oh.
isn't it? No, it was good. What it was good. Like, it was amazing, but it wasn't me. And I don't know why I even bothered. Like, it was just because we had this, like, module where we've got to, like, make a website, which the website doesn't even go anywhere. It doesn't get, like, actually published. So it was just, like, yeah, whatever. You put, like, pictures on, brands, whatever, videos, audio clips, just all shit like that. So yeah, I was like, oh yeah, I'll use this, and I know that for me, like, do you know the stories that you can save, the icons? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can make like stories.
The highlights on
highlights.
Instagram.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I had like a new one for that. Oh, cringe, like stars and like mic. Oh. So yeah, and then I don't know that I just got rid of that after like a month. I just was like, oh no. So yeah,
How much did you pay?
only like £20.
Oh, well, that's why.
Yeah. No, it was good. I feel awful now. No, it was good. I just why did I do that? Do you know what I mean? I feel like my colour is like red. I don't even wear red. Leopard print.
Or
Leopard
is
print.
it scarlet?
What? Is yeah. Oh.
Imagine if you know.
I know. I was like, oh, what? No, like probably red, black. I don't really wear that much red. Leopard print is like statement me.
Well,
I've got a
you
leopard
have a
print coat.
very put together sense of
What does
style.
that mean?
It's like this, like, it's like, I don't know how to describe it, but I feel like you and your friend group are different levels of like businesswoman, like gone wild, which
I know what you
is
mean,
a
because I've
look.
always got a leather blazer on.
Yeah,
Leather blazer leather blazer. That
it's
is
like
all it
the
is.
hip businesswoman,
Yeah.
but double the hip.
Or flares or
Yeah.
and me docks, whichever pair they are. Say me chunky ones, I'll just get them in. Me chunky ones, I always feel too tall to wear them, so they just come out. Even though I wish I could just like get away with it, I just feel like a big rock.
To be fair,
Mm.
there are some people who are so tall that it is part of their stage presence. Like Guy, whenever Bert hosts the Jacaranda, and he just makes a whole scene of pulling the mic back down because it's genuinely the mic is a foot above Bert's head. But I don't know anyone who's built a brand image off of being so short. But I don't. We're making fun of Ellie. We have all the utmost respect for our short kings, queens, and those in betweens. I said kings, queens, and those in betweens.
Okay.
Not everything's about you, Ellie.
It is.
But so we have found your brand image. Now tell me a little bit about this band and kind of what that's like working with. How do you find a
only
band?
just started. Great, yeah. My fella's in it at the minute, like, so that's not a good idea. So that's probably not gonna. I don't know. Not the fact that we don't work well together, because we do, but it's just like business with pleasure. It's not a good idea, is it? Drummers are hard to find. Like, I finally got a drummer and he's sick, but it's so hard to find. But the rehearsals are going well, yeah. I'm looking to either do it, like, release Scarlet, and then do like a single launch gig, so like headline gig, or support someone with my bands. But I want them to sort of be not like beginners, do you know what I mean? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to support someone with like a full band and them just be like beginners, like just acoustic. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
I sort of want them to be like, don't know how I'm gonna do it, like, but I've got no plans. I'm just like, yeah.
So walk us through that a bit more, like on the more like management business side of things. What does that mean? Like, what do you have to do to speak to a venue to get supports, that sort of stuff?
You're asking the wrong person here. I don't know. Mine is just like 3 people that I know. Like, there's loads of people in Liverpool, like in the music scene, that I know. That's where I'm going from with the sort of like supporting them in my band type of thing. Only if it was like a big, not big act, but like sort of well known, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would just, for me, so like my first gig with my band, I would either headline it or support someone sort of big. I wouldn't just support someone who's just like an acoustic act, if that makes sense.
Because you want to build up.
That's what I mean. Yeah. That's
like,
why I'm sort of doing like the acoustic gigs like now, and I'm sort of trying to build that. Like, I've done the Jack last week, Zanzibar just gone, and then I've got that HMV gig. I don't know whether I've said about that.
Oh yes, I remember that you were on that.
At 11 on next Saturday.
This might not be out yet.
Okay, so what date would that be? On the 11th?
On the 11th.
On the 11th, yeah. On the 11th of March.
So everybody get in your time machine.
Yeah.
Go back. I wish we would have coordinated that. I would have had you on earlier.
I know. And I haven't got like any coming up either, so it probably would have been. Oh well, doesn't matter. But
if one comes up, we'll pop it in.
I sort of just, I don't know how I got there. I've messaged loads of promoters, to be fair, and only like say a few have got back, like Tiny Mammoth, that's who the gig was with Zanzibar, and then Sound Music Group, I'm gonna call them, I don't know what they're actually called, was for Amelia's gig that I supported on. And then the HMV, I just messaged them because I thought they were looking for people, and they just messaged me back saying, have you got anything released? And I said no, and they were like, oh, that song on your Instagram's boss, like, yeah, we'll have you on. So that was quite cool. But going forwards, yeah, I'm just gonna have to keep sort of messaging. I feel like when I've actually got music out there, that's gonna be the sort of thing that, like, that's the thing what I need to do, because no one like can hear me at the minute. Do you know what I mean? It's just
credibility.
Like, yeah, like it's just like an Instagram video, which is a bit shit. I think it's actual stuff there.
Yeah.
So
no, it does. It is helpful to have a place to point people, because I have my little album that I recorded in this flat with this microphone. It's not great.
Yeah.
But it's something.
Yeah. I know.
But I was a hobby musician, and that was my view of it up until very recently, whereas you've been looking at this from a professional perspective. So, you know, you want to be in a studio.
Because I went to, like, I sort of missed the boat, to be honest, because LMA, they had like a literal recording studio, like they had everything in there that I could have used and released, and I just was like, not like, I was just like, let's go for the bevy, where's my fella, like, just fucking ditzy.
Oh yes, girl.
Yeah, yes, girl, you know, tonight. He's a fucking idiot. I mean, by the last 2 years, I sort of got my head down and sort of came out with the first sort of done me degree and all that, but like there's so much stuff. And I say to all the people now, like I'm like a fucking weird mum. I'm like, you should like use all the facilities, like you need to all do it to the kids because they're all like, well, I say kids, they're like a year younger than me, but I say like you don't understand when you leave, you haven't got any of that, like that would have been free, do you know what I mean? Like the costs of recording in the studio now are just like,
oh my god, even like being on campus, being able to use a desktop.
Yeah.
I realized today, like as soon as I leave university, I don't have a desktop connected to Wi-Fi where I can upload things quickly.
Yeah.
Not connected to Wi-Fi, connected to the literal physical internet with a cable. Imagine that in 2023.
Yeah. Even like practice rooms though, like say if I would have got a band together with people from uni, which I sort of had a few jams with people, but not one was there. You just sort of know when you know, if that makes sense. And like again, the thing with me fella, like it sounds good with him, so that's why I'm just a bit like, oh, but it's just one of them. I'm not too bothered about that, but yeah, like even practice rehearsal time, like I've got to pay for that now, whereas like I just used to go into there and be like, hi, I'm using this room. So yeah, it is a bit of a pain in the ass.
No, it is.
And even I had an amazing singing teacher in there, and I like, if I could go back in time now, I'd be like at that lesson. Do you know what I mean? Like all the time, and just getting them as much information. You don't really want to know what you want to do when you leave uni. Like I sort of just went in there because I went to the college, and then you just don't know. Like maybe people that have went to uni for that reason, but you go to a music uni, you're either doing producing or you're teaching or whatever. When you walk out and you don't know what you're doing, you're just a bit like, what am I doing? So yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely a lot harder to work towards something when you don't know what the end result is.
Very much so, yeah.
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 So that's your message for the day to all the children watching.
All the children who are 2 months younger than me. Stay at school.
Stay in school, kids. Oh my goodness.
Can we get one of those dead intense to the camera?
Oh, stay in school, kids. No, don't put that off. It was like this side to me too.
Yeah.
No.
Stay in school, kids. I'll definitely cut that out.
No, too. Oh. I'm not even gonna watch it.
It's gonna be like a deadpan close up. Just
let me do it again. Let me do it this. No, no.
That's not part of your like cool business.
No,
bitch
because I was like
brand
this side.
image.
I feel like this is my bad side. But if I go like that, stay in school. Oh, cringe.
Oh God. All right. I think maybe final question here.
Okay.
Ooh, I don't think I've asked this yet. What do you think is from your own experience and what you've seen in other musicians in your own work? What do you think is the most important thing trying to look, I guess, professional, look legit? Like especially doing this original work kind of stuff.
Make sure you know your shit, basically. That's all I really say
what
about that.
pray tell is said shit? So
like, don't know. So I feel like a lot of people just don't put the effort in, which is like me half the time. Like, I do put the effort in, but because I've just got so much going on lately, like it's hard to find the time, to be fair. But like knowing your stuff, knowing your lyrics, knowing your chords, writing. Do you know what I mean? Like non-stop. It's like a must.
Oh. Writing all the time.
Yeah, writing all the time.
All the time. How often are you writing?
I'm actually not writing at all at the minute. I've had writer's block for like 2 months. Do as we say,
not as we do.
Yeah. Oh, I was though, but like just because like I used to write on keyboards. I used to write all my songs and never used to play guitar. And then as soon as like I picked up a guitar, I just dumped the piano and just stopped. So now like in my new job, I'm just constantly on the piano. You get a different type of feel though through songs, while more sadder on keys, 100%.
Yeah.
And then on guitar, you can sort of add that oomph.
But yeah. So when you were writing a lot, what is writing a lot to you?
My mate's dad said to me, so I was like, this is when like I had no job, and I was just like, I was still gigging, but like I had no sort of week.
Yeah, no day job.
Yeah, and he was like, just get up, man. He's just like, just get up. Well, he mightn't have said man, so that's a bit cringe, but he's just like,
Was he like,
get up, get a shower, and start writing. Just write every single day. You've got a song for every day then. Even if it's shit, you've still got one. You might make the best song that you might write the best song they've ever wrote.
that's a very
Just get up and
Stephen
write
King
one.
approach.
Yeah, even if it's like a fucking jingle, like you've wrote something and you
Yeah.
never know where it's gonna go.
Well, that's what Stephen King said about writing in his little memoir thingamajig. He said just write, I think it was like 500 words a day. Even if it's shit, write 500 words a day. It might have been 1,000. I don't know. And then I think it was, who's the guy who wrote, I think it was Martin, R.R. Martin, some him, whatever. He looked over and he said, you write how many words a day? I think people have different styles of writing.
Yeah.
But that is a good point.
Yeah.
You know?
Suppose. I'll try if it's timing now. I mean, I'm constantly on a keyboard now, or I haven't even touched I have touched the guitar, but like I'm not as near it as much as when I have the free time. But as you said, I can't remember the actual word, so bear with. But like when you said before, like you get more done when you've got to get stuff done.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I feel like I'm sort of like I don't know. I can't like sort of word it. If that makes sense. You get what I mean though?
What I think it is we probably have something wrong with us, like academic burnout, or maybe OCD or perfectionism.
OCD. I've got 100% OCD.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like it's probably not for a good reason that we function like that.
maybe.
But it's how it goes.
Yeah. Who knows?
Go to therapy, kids. We'll leave that one.
Stay in school.
Leave school, go to therapy.
Leave school, go to therapy. Oh, God. All right, with that, I think we should head off to our little couch concert. Do you know what you're going to be playing for us today?
Yeah. Am I supposed to say now or no?
Unless you want it to be a mystery.
I'll let it be a mystery then.
We'll let it be. Oh, this is new. This is exciting. All right.
It was
That was lovely, Caitlyn. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, you're welcome anytime, girl. Is there anything you want to plug?
Yeah, I'd like to put me Instagram, Caitlyn Eve Music, and just watch out for anything that I've got coming, any new music.
All right, and I will link the Instagram down below, and I'm sure you will link anything you have coming out to your Instagram. We love a good link tree. All right. Thank you very much for joining us.
Oh my God, it's Charlie.